All right, I'll start with our recap of a billion things here. Uh, so you guys started at the outpost, and the orc scouts from nearby Harbor Town were nearby, and you ended at that point where they were surrounding you, basically. The elk was killed on sight, but revived once everyone takes a breath. Uh, you received a new invitation from the orc leader from Cheap Stowe, not Cheekstone. Uh, and it was sealed with a 13 snake emblem in wax. Uh, you also met Norazian as a bronze dragon. You found that one out. You also were notified to go meet Atsha for the first time in the tavern to get you started. So you crossed the port onto the other side. You met Atsha. You also met the captain of the ferry, which is Taft Bronrig. You have your group name as Bear Arms, and I believe you guys put as a mercenary group.
Well,
And you made fake names. I just won't list them here, but you made fake names.
sounds about right.
You did also see that the ship was flying a purple background with a silver oval in the middle when sailing on that lake. After meeting Atsha, you went into the auction. You went to the auction. Galen purchased a red pseudo dragon. Marco purchased a burnt orange fox, and Yuri purchased a sprite. Not the soda.
There's no caffeine, so
Not the soda. The Fae.
no caffeine. I think they're
Well, if shake it enough, you might get pixie dust. I don't know. So you got a special sale at the end. It was a set of 4 dragons, one being a large white dragon, and you saw that was sold for 160k gold. And the ones made the purchase possessed skull necklaces. You noticed.
kind of out of our price range.
You could have afforded a baby dragon if you put all your money together.
yeah, yeah.
And then you guys paid for your, and then you started leaving. I think you were leaving the cavern when we left off.
That was the last thing we did. We were headed out of the cavern. We had just picked up our purchases.
Yep, and then something I forgot to tell you at the end of the session, but I told you during the week, that you achieved level 3. So everyone should be level 3.
Woo! Hope everybody leveled.
I did indeed.
So
Leveling off that life experience.
I've got to remember what I went with my archetype. Oh yes, Horizon Walker.
Alright. So, starting there, you were just walking out of the cavern.
Woo!
And I guess that's how we'll start. What were you guys doing while working out of the cavern?
How did we receive our critters? Are they?
So you guys went off to the side where the cages were. You handed them the slip,
Yeah.
and then they went to go grab it, and you basically had them with you in cages.
Because remember, I didn't have the book.
Huh?
Remember, I didn't have the book? They were like, where's your book?
He didn't have a slave record.
Yeah.
And then you made one, and I had you make me one.
Yeah, you all have like a page, except for Galen has a book with a page written in it.
Yeah.
So you guys are all 3 of you are technically considered slave traders now.
Woo! Hail. No, Gustav is considered. You have to remember, I have a full disguise, everything right now.
Yes, you guys are disguised. So you are gonna. So you guys walk out of this cavern, and the person that you paid to watch your cart, rolled it up through the cavern for you while this auction was going on. So your cart was
was
actually
nice.
parked through. You don't have to go back and get it through the other door and then come back through. And he's just standing there with your cart and your horse.
Well,
No, you don't have. No, actually, you don't have a horse. It's literally just a cart. Actually.
Yeah, it's just a cart. There's nothing special about it.
Oh, and during this whole time, you have an elk.
Yeah, you know what? I also had a comment. You said we could have gotten a baby dragon. What has the elk done already so far? And that's just an elk. It's gored. We've had to revive it.
Technically, we didn't revive it. Wasn't it the orcs that revived it?
Yeah.
Only because we were going to kill them.
Ha ha ha.
or attempt to.
What time of day is it now that the auction is done?
When did you guys leave?
The auction started about 4 o'clock, if I remember right.
All right, so the auction probably lasted about 3 or 4 hours. It's like 8 o'clock at night.
Oh, so it's getting close to. We don't want to sleep here.
I wouldn't think so.
Nah.
Well, what are our alternatives?
Wait, can we hook the elk up and have it pull the cart? Would it be
No.
willing?
That is up to a glare.
No.
Yeah, it's kind of what I figured.
Worth the shot. Well, we didn't buy anything big enough that needed to be carted off, so
Yeah. Well, we might as well head back to the tavern and see if we can find Atsha.
So you're gonna go in the opposite direction that everyone else is walking.
I feel that's a hint that we should follow where everybody else is going.
Yeah,
Whatever
okay,
you
works for
mean.
me.
Yep.
Because don't forget, you guys are the three of you are holding cages with your purchase in it.
True, yeah.
Well, to keep up appearances, why don't we put the cages in the cart and pull the cart?
Works for me.
Sure.
That way it doesn't look like they're, for us, but that we were here for somebody else.
Makes
All right.
sense.
All right, so you're going to go walk over to the carts, and you're going to put the cages in the back of the cart. And your elk is able to get through the mob, by the way.
Good.
That's walking through.
I mean, imagine like a giant elk would kind of maybe make people move to the side a little bit.
Oh, no, it's more like he didn't trample anyone over.
Okay. Oh, good. Good.
I'll just walk up to the yoke and start pushing the cart in the direction of the crowd.
Okay. So you walk down the road. My notes here. All right. Make a perception check for me.
Everyone?
Do we have like? Is this off of like passive perception?
Actually, I'll do it off passive perception. What's everyone's passive perception?
Okay.
16.
Passive perception is
13 for me.
Mine's 11.
I don't think mine's been.
I'm really curious, Christian, how yours is 11. It's just
I
like a
see?
curious because you're a rogue and a bird.
13 is my passive perception.
13.
Yeah, I have no idea why it's so low.
Proxy slightly
Oh.
down. Lay down.
Probably because my wisdom is 9.
I was gonna say wisdom is what perception is on.
Okay. So, Mark, you said yours is 16. So,
Yeah.
You're the only one who notices that the cloaked figures that with the skull continue with a very large cart with this dragon on the back of it. Like, I mean, this is like a massive, like, siege engine type vehicle that's pulled. It's probably about like 40 horses.
You said the dragon's in the cart?
Yeah, it's like a giant cage cart that the cage was lowered on this cart. It's huge. Like, this cart's huge. Instead of wheels, it's like basically logs that are being able to go through. You once in a while see someone from the back. Probably looks like slaves because they're in like commoner clothes. Bring this log to the front where the cart is, so it puts it like right. So this whole thing just rolls on these logs.
Wow.
And
So like the old Egyptian
Yes,
style.
Yeah.
And this is in front of us?
That's like on the road, basically.
Off to the side of us, right?
Nope, on this road.
On this road? Is it like far ahead of us?
Yes.
Probably going right down the middle of the road.
Is there anybody in the yoke with me pulling the cart? Or am I the only one pulling the cart?
No, I'll help you pull.
Alright, I'm going to nudge my head in the direction of the cart and point out to you, hey, take a look at that. There's that special order or that special deal at the very end.
That is one big mamma jamma.
How far back are you from this
That-
cart?
That sounds like a question for you.
Well, how far do you want to be?
How far ahead of it is us?
Well, I would base it on the perception, being I was the only one who noticed.
Okay,
It can't be very
so-
close.
So it's probably about 500 feet away from you.
Okay.
And since you guys are pulling the cart, and you guys do strength checks for me.
I had a feeling that was coming.
18.
All right, you're good.
I'm pretty sure I'm good.
I don't think the cart's a problem.
Nope, cart is not a problem. Is anyone sitting in the cart while they're pulling it? Or are you guys just walking on the sides? Or behind?
I don't feel like being lazy. I'll walk.
Yeah, I'm just walking on the sides, being slinky because I'm a sneaky rogue right now.
Anybody feel it's weird that the tiny bird character keeps making all his strength checks?
Hey, you're freaking tall. You're the
He's-
tallest one here, aren't you?
He's using his legs. What are you talking about?
What do you mean tallest one here?
I thought you said your bird guy was really, really tall.
Not really, no. He's
Oh, I could have sworn you'd said that.
medium.
Okay.
Yeah, he only weighs like 85 pounds himself.
Well, birds are light. That doesn't really say anything about your height. Kaisos, what did you say where you were standing?
Behind, following along with the
Behind?
elk.
Okay.
Okay, so you guys, because you guys are pulling it, you guys go at like a normal speed compared to a horse pulling a cart. So, going around you, you can see there's like a bunch of, the slavers that were inside the auction. Going around you, they have like all these cage carts, with, like slaves inside, just going around. And then you find a familiar face going past you. Shining like the day of light in a reddish glow Atsha's there with his following train of carts he has. He has probably about 5 carts following him of cage carts. The one he is in actually is not a cage cart. It's one of those like kind of like those like adventure carts where it's enclosed and has like a little like place to sleep inside. It's a
Oh,
household
one of the
wheels.
little house cars.
Yeah. And he kind of like slows down and starts talking to you guys. He says, "Oh, how was your auction?"
I'm gonna motion my head behind me. Pretty well. We got us some helpful little companions.
All right, all right. No, of course you see that I got, a bunch at least.
Expected.
So, where are you heading next?
Um.
Good question.
Oh, I gotta go back and see.
Yeah,
check
I
the
know it's
notes
been
real
a
quick.
while.
Before we kind of go over where we're going next, do you know anything about those guys who bought the full-size dragon?
Oh, those are the mafia. They're going northwest.
Huh.
So they wouldn't happen to be part of that Crimson family, would they?
They actually are. How'd you know about that?
Yeah, just rumors here and there. It's kind of a shady town. What do you expect? More or less took a stab in the dark.
Okay. Well, they are dangerous people, so just be careful what you get into. I've done business a couple times for them. It's good money, but bad clients.
So are they locals or are they from another area?
Oh, they have their own country. Please tell me you know about their country.
Yeah, well, I mean more along the lines of, do they have a local place they operate out of, or they come all the way here and go all the way back for a single sale?
They prefer this auction than others, but it's a give or take situation. Depends what's on sale. We get the little insides of, what might be on sale this week. Like maybe there's certain race you're looking for.
Any idea what they would want a mature dragon for? Because I can't imagine taming one of those would be easy.
Mostly for their boss. Most likely, he collects dragons.
That does not
Uh,
sound
so-
This is
good.
a heck of a pastime.
A dangerous hobby that is.
You name it, he probably has it at this point. Now he just collects second, third, fourth, whatever you.
Must be
Uh,
nice to have money.
oh, he's filthy rich. But I heard he might be breeding dragons soon. But, it's just rumors.
Does he have a particular spectrum of dragon that he goes for?
He only goes for the chromatic ones.
I see.
But so do you decide where you're gonna be going?
Good question.
We got a friend that we need to meet up with.
We're currently in Cheekstone?
We're currently in Cheapstow Harbor.
Cheapstow, not Cheekstone. Okay.
No, it's CHEPSTOW Harbor.
Yeah,
Okay.
it needs to be updated on both of them.
There we go.
I literally looked at it. I was like, "What?"
Weren't we headed to like
So,
Colorado?
That was the other. That was before you crossed the lake.
yeah, that was how we got here. So, speaking out of character, is
It's
this
been a while.
where we were headed to meet up with? Oh, I gotta go back and look and find his name. Like, that one that's in the underground. What was his name?
Roll me a history check real quick.
It's in the notes. I'm looking for it, but I can roll quick. History. Da, 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 da.
All right,
15.
you're looking for a guy named Skitter.
That was the name, yeah. I didn't go back far enough in the notes.
Too many notes. 7 sessions.
So, going back into character, so are you familiar with where we could meet a man or someone by the name of Skitter?
Oh, that's right. I'm supposed to forward you to him. I do suggest you go to Blackpool first.
Okay.
Stock up supplies because there's not going to be another town for miles.
So, for us to stock up, wouldn't it involve us going back the other direction?
No, Blackpool's 2 days away about north, which is kind of the direction you're going from Skitter anyway.
Oh, so you're saying stock up in Blackpool.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And now you thought this place was skeptical. Wait till you get to Blackpool.
What if we're already stocked?
Oh, if you need to get some load off of some items, I'm sure some people will be interested.
Fair.
So,
He kind of leans over and says, "It's a giant flea market."
I
so what
see.
would you say the best way to get to Blackpool would be?
Actually, I'm heading that way, but you're going to be going straight on this road.
Okay.
And then before you reach it will split at the end. You can either have a left or a right situation. But if you make a right, it will curve slightly around and you'll find this Blackpool place. Or you can just follow me because I'm going the same direction.
I mean, security numbers and all that.
Are you looking to hire us as escort?
Escort? I don't need an escort. And you see Atsha put up his hand. And you notice all the carts have 6 guards down the line.
Galen, I believe his companions would be rather insulted if we got hired
Who
to
is
help.
Galen?
Ah, sorry. Old friend of mine. I met Gustav.
Oh, is that your scaling your boss?
No, just this idiot I know back home.
Oh, okay.
An icicle hits Marco in the back of the head. Ting, ting.
So, if you want to follow me, you can. We're going to be making camp about a little up the ways, since it is dark out.
Sounds fine to me. What do you guys think?
I think
Fine
we
by
can
me.
tag along. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, he has lots of guards, so if there's any trouble, we have the extra help, right?
Strength in numbers.
Indeed.
Tosses
I go off on my own?
illusionary. Tosses
that bull-
illusionary dagger, catches it, puts it back in belt.
As long as those blades are beside us, not behind us. Yeah, I'm just gonna laugh and keep pushing.
All right. He puts his arm down, and you notice that all the guards put their cloaks back up, and basically into like this black robe where you can barely see a glow except for from their face. All right. And they just keep walking. All right. So are you guys following besides, behind them, in front of them?
I'd say behind.
How wide is the road? I would imagine they're taking up probably the width of the road. I can't imagine it's real wide.
So the one that's going really slow ahead of you with the giant dragon, that's taking up the whole road. That's probably about 30 feet wide. So the road's about 30 feet wide.
Yeah, I'd say we're gonna follow behind. Or
Okay.
we are following, so.
Yeah, just fall in line with the 5 carts that Atsha has.
Okay, so you're gonna go all the way to the back, not just behind Atsha.
Yeah, we'll just fall in line.
So all the carts go ahead of you, and then you tag behind. They're a little bit quicker than you because they do have horses. If you want to try to keep up, you can.
No, we'll catch up to the camp when they make camp. So at least
Okay.
that's my opinion.
So they travel for about another 2 hours until they find this little alcove in the forest, and you notice that they stop, put the carts off to the side, and they start chopping wood, trees.
They must be really making camp.
They got a lot of people.
You also notice like they let the slaves out. Slaves are on a chain that's attached through their waist, and only can go about 20 feet in one direction. So they can go in like this 20-foot radius from the cart. Now, so you can see them they gave them an axe and they're chopping wood. You see the guards are watching over the slaves chopping wood, and Atsha is just in his cart with the door open. And there's a small campfire outside.
Well, I would say I'll lean over to Yurik and say, how about we pull up about 15 feet away from the edge of their camp, set up one of our own.
Probably a good idea.
Pull off and start setting up camp about 15 feet from the edge of theirs.
All right. So you drop your you drop the cart at about 15 feet away from your stairs.
The cart would be about 30 feet because it would be our camp would be about 15 feet from theirs, and then the cart would be on the opposite side of our camp.
Okay.
You know, now that we're away from the auction, we could probably let these open these cages and maybe just leave the cart behind, make travel a little easier.
Yeah, within a giant retinue of things, maybe not the best idea at the moment.
Hey, Stoosh, sorry, I was
I'm going
double
to
muted,
set
so
up
I didn't
a
realize I wasn't
campfire.
going through stream.
Okay.
But
Well, I guess I'll step into the
Welcome to the
woods and
stream.
look for some kindling
Okay.
to get a fire started.
You can definitely find some sticks in the ground.
All right, then I'll set up a campfire and
Are you putting like a real campfire where like you put the rocks around and everything?
yep,
Okay.
a proper one, and then using some of the sticks to make a makeshift pit
All
so I
right.
can start cooking some raw meat.
What
out
is
of
the
my bag.
rest of you doing during this whole thing?
Well, like Yurik had said, like we have our little friends here. We haven't. They've kind of been locked in cages. So I'll go over to little pseudo dragon with rations to try to feed it and start maybe slightly talking a little bit with it.
Okay.
Let it know that it will only be in the cage for a little while longer. I don't want to cause alarm with all the other guards that are a little bit ways away. That we're letting free what we've picked up already. At least for me, I will feed him, like give him treats and stuff through that. And since he has telepathic abilities and stuff, he can understand what I'm saying.
And well, I'm gonna talk to the sprite too. I had already planned that. Talk to the sprite and you know, tell him what's going on and set him free. And you know, hopefully he might be willing to help me set right his capture and everything.
What
Kind of
language are you talking to
thank you.
him in?
Yeah, that
Common.
was
Common. Okay.
a little thing I found how to do online. So
So you're letting him go, like outside the cage?
No. To keep up appearances, I have to leave him in there for now.
Okay.
I'm
So you
going to
just-
explain this to him, but I'm trying to break. You know, we're trying to break this slave ring apart. So
How loud are you talking here?
Yeah.
quietly,
Okay.
just at the back of the cart. You know, whispering to the sprite because he doesn't need me to yell at him. That's got to be loud to his itty bitty ears.
Okay.
You know, and just convincing him that you know we don't actually mean him any harm. We're not gonna make him do crazy things or anything like that.
well, since I didn't purchase anything, I'm just
Okay.
going to be standing guard, watching for anything that could be out to get us or to try to backstab us, and just
Okay.
being
So
cautious.
for that, give me a perception roll.
I can do that, I think.
While he's rolling, what is Glare doing during this?
Clearly, the elk is just going to do a little bit of foraging just outside to get some food for him.
Ooh, that's a pretty crappy perception.
Okay, so you're foraging. He's looking for. All right, with perception, you are like, it's dark out. I don't care.
Okay.
You're like, this auction was terribly boring.
Well, I didn't buy anything, so yeah, it was kind of boring.
Yeah, so you were like, it was boring. Now I'm here, you know. All right. So with all that happening, since you're looking out, you're just like looking the wrong way, basically, and one of Atsha's guards comes over, and you can see like he has his cloak down, his sleeves are kind of like rolled up, and his cloak is unbuttoned in the front, so you can basically see this like glow. It's an orange glow coming towards you, maybe like 10 feet to you, and really knows. And he starts speaking in a different language, and he's like, and like pointing towards the camp.
What language?
Wait, who's doing this?
One of the guards.
Hmm.
What language? Probably not one that I speak, but just in case.
Let me get the stat there. It is Ignon.
No, definitely not one I speak.
Nope.
And then he speaks in a different language. A little more harsher, a little bit more. And this would be Draconic.
I can hear it. I understand that one.
Alright, he's telling you that Atsha wishes to speak with you guys.
Oh, okay. I respect that. Draconic.
How long into setting up the camp is this?
It's maybe like 10 minutes.
That's not too bad. We're pretty adept.
You guys go ahead. I'm gonna finish cooking.
Oh,
So I'm gonna stay behind and keep
an eye
working
on
on
the
my
cart
keep
too.
working on my stew.
Okay, Marco's cooking the stew. Glare and the elk is foraging. Are you going to go with them?
I'll go with him.
All right, I guess we go.
All right, I'll go as well.
Okay. Is Glare going or is he foraging?
Yeah, he's foraging.
Okay. So there's 3 of you going.
Indeed.
All right. So you guys walk with the guard over, and Atsha like kind of peeks his head outside of his cart and says, "Ah, come on, sit down, sit down." You notice that there's like logs to already sit on. They're coated in a leather, just for like a padding or like protect yourself from the bark, basically. There's a small pile of firewood. The slaves are outside the cart, still chained, but they're already being fed. Like they're eating from like a bowl. The guards just overwatching and also still eating. And there's only like about 2 guards next to Atsha.
I suppose we approach Atsha.
He sees you and he starts yelling. He's like, "Ah, come sit down, come sit down!" And he like points at the log.
I nod slightly and head towards the log.
Take a seat as well.
Fenlin will stay standing, but behind the log.
Okay. And he kind of like he leans over and he's like, "Ah, it's a great night. It's like you can see the sky. It's all the stars. There's not many clouds in the sky either. You can see the moon. It's a half crescent moon." Says, "Ah, yeah, it's a great night. But why did you set up camp so far away?"
We figured we get privacy for everyone. Yeah.
"Oh, you can just join us. Bring the car over."
Also, giant turtle snores.
Half of my crew snores.
Yeah, giant turtle's kind of like a thunderstorm in your back. Right behind your head. We tried burying him and everything and could not get it to be quiet.
Have you tried a pillow?
A pillow would be better than, putting him in a hole and throwing dirt on him.
It might work. I don't know. So, are you excited to go meet Skitter?
It's great. Looking forward to business. Whatever
Okay.
it may be.
So, you gonna offer your services up to Skitter, or are you gonna shrug him off?
It really depends on what he offers.
Okay.
Work does not come free.
Oh, of course, of course.
What about yourself?
I'm taking these to the town I've been building. And he points to like all of the slaves that are on the ground.
Ah, building a town.
You notice that they're all dwarves and gnomes.
Okay, that sounds familiar. Oh, yes. Seems you've got some that look like they may be able to lift a little bit. Some in the actual sense and some figuratively. Gnomes, not that strong.
Yeah.
Dwarves can pick up quite a bit.
But I did get one special that I am excited about. Just to get myself in the door.
Special, you say?
Yeah.
Do tell.
And he kind of like puts his hand up and like with a waving motion towards him. And the guard comes over. They talk into Ignin. And then he walks over to another cart and kind of like pushes one of the slaves that was like kind of hidden behind the cart, where the closer to the fire, so you can see him. You can see he is a work with padded leather. He has no weapons, and he also has two mohawks, basically one on each side on like a 45-degree angle, basically. Very slightly shaved, you know. And he says, "There is my champion."
So he's large.
Champion.
Nothing special.
So, a fighter?
Well, he was a fighter, but he's still going to be a fighter.
So there's an arena? Like gladiator combat?
Yes, there is. One of these lovely slave trader people set up a gladiator arena, and we fight. Make them fight to the death. Swords. If they have spells, you can use spells. It's a great time.
And what was the name of town again you're building? You're talking about? Is that what
My
you're building?
town. It is unnamed, actually.
Oh, and had any ideas so far? Like any inspiration?
It's up to the owner.
Oh, building it further then.
Yeah. And well, that's my business. I build underground towns.
I see.
You probably didn't notice, but in the auction underneath of us, thousands of feet.
Pretty impressive.
Not all, slaves, but there's a nice living area down there. Nice little town.
I suppose in some kind of like if a calamity popped up or something, it might be quite safe down there as well.
In certain parts, yeah, I guess. Until you intercept something that you don't want to underneath the ground, and you're like,
Oh, fair.
ugh, this is.
Yeah, you don't want to be running into the Underdark.
Have you run into that much? Like any kind of problems down there?
Oh, we run into purple worms all the time.
Purple worms, eh?
probably eat you in one bite.
You like to dig
Probably.
deep, don't you?
Yep. Actually, I helped build the blackpool. You'll see what I mean.
So, any other reason besides just great chat and banter that you brought us over here to say hi?
Well, I was thinking if you wanted to come join us.
Ah, I'll have to talk with the rest of the group to see, but I have a feeling we might be all right out there.
Alright.
We've been traveling together for a while now, and sometimes just a little bit of quiet, besides tortoise noise, is good for us. Been walking around cities for a lot recently.
Oh, interesting. Well, you were very well recommended from Vorkus, so hope you will end up to be joining our clans of destroying whatever evil this is.
Yes, I agree. Whatever craziness is going across the land right now.
But if you don't want to join us, alright. But we'll be here.
There's nothing against you, you know.
But we'll be leaving 8 a.m. sharp tomorrow morning.
Sounds like a plan.
Understood.
We should be already and willing.
Oh, by the way, do you need a horse for your cart? I saw you
That
pulling.
would be greatly appreciated, yes. Falling a bit behind. Turtle
While
boy,
this
not very fast.
conversation is going on, a steak I am cooking off to the side, it's half of one, is reaching medium rare, and I'm gonna push it into Sheaf's cage, which is my fox,
Okay.
and let him munch on that. All right,
Okay.
go ahead. Continue.
Okay. So Atsha pulls one of the guards off the side, and he runs, grabs a horse from the lineup, and pulls it over to you and says, here you go.
Danke. Greatly appreciated. So I suppose we'll see you in the morning.
See you in the morning. And he kind of just gets up and goes back into his cart house thing.
And we proceed to bring the horse back over.
Yeah. That was nice, right?
It was quite pleasant.
I'm assuming they're approaching the camp again.
Hmm.
So over the top of the campfire, I see you bring second course for meal.
Not quite. I mean, you're more than welcome to keep pulling the cart by yourself.
I kid.
With you, it's hard to tell.
Bird makes a point.
Hurry up and tie up the horse. Food's ready. I made a venison stew for anybody who's hungry.
I quickly check for the
Where is elk?
elk.
What was fine with it the last time we had it? They don't have an abundance of meat.
So while this is entire happening, Glare and the elk has been foraging for food. So do a survival check. Do that.
I'm assuming that was aimed at me.
Yeah.
And I used up a lot of ingredients for this stew, so I've got about 8 portions worth.
So Glare finds, a few things that he thinks is edible in the forest. The elk is different.
Elk has stuffed its face, hasn't it?
Elk got nat 20.
Oh,
Yeah, the elk has stuffed its face.
You literally see this elk with giant, puffed out cheeks of this elk munching away, coming back. Is Glare coming back
So-
with the elk?
Well, I guess. Not like you just like stay out there.
I don't know if you were maybe foraging for more stuff.
No, it was literally. I literally said we were foraging to go get some food for the elk.
Okay.
So,
He did better than me anyway.
so Holland,
Yep.
to make the stew, I used up about 4 portions of meat and like 5 of my veggie portions I had.
Okay.
And I've got like 3 portions of fruit like diced up on the side as a side thing, aiming for like a total of 8 portions.
Okay. 8 portions.
I'm assuming there's no conflict with that, or
Well, you're using up ingredients, so
Yep.
you're making like a meal for you guys to have.
Yep.
Yeah, so that should be fine.
All right. So everybody can dig in, have what you want. I made up a little extra so you could feed the dragon and the sprite if they want any of the fruit or stew.
Yes, I'm definitely gonna bring him some fruit.
Should bring the pseudo Drake some of the meat.
And ask him if he wants any of the meat and everything. I don't know what sprites actually eat. I assume they eat fruit mostly.
They may be interested in the broth from the stew too.
So let's see.
I don't have saying this in character. I don't have telepathy or direct communication, so I have to bribe my bots to like me.
You don't have animal handling?
I do. I actually have really good animal handling.
High wisdom.
Yeah. But yeah, as his first meal with me, I made him a medium rare steak that's well seasoned.
Are you making this in like a fancy way, or are you making this like just like a general?
The only one that's fancy is the one for Sheaf, my fox.
Okay. For
The rest of them
one,
is just a general meal made out of decent quality ingredients.
okay. So the one for the fox, do a dex check for me.
Dex. Oh, you would say Dex. I hate you. Oh no.
It's a little overdone.
Oh well.
And then for the rest of the food, do a charisma check.
Charisma. Oh God, I hate you. You chose my 2 worst stats.
That's not bad. Okay, the food came out like pretty decent. Like it's not the best quality because of the the cooking conditions, but it came out pretty good.
Yeah.
You see the fox just there going, trying to chew on it, a little tough.
Starts like spitting out the burnt pieces, like on the outside.
It works.
The sprite. What do Fae eat? Well, I'm guessing they're in
Find
the.
it in the book.
They're okay. Hold on here. They're in the forest. I know that.
I'm pretty sure they're not hunting like rabbits and squirrels, which are the
No.
bigger than they are. So I'm assuming it's a vegetarian diet.
Yeah, I think it is a vegetarian diet.
Probably.
I'll
So
say
that's what
vegetarian.
makes sense.
feeling it might be. That's why I had diced up fruit.
Yeah, because they live in the forest. That makes sense. Yeah, so vegetarian diet or fruit, whatever it is. So yeah, your sprite can eat the fruit and quite enjoy it.
Glad you liked it.
All right, so you guys are now eating your meal for the night. Are you guys sitting around the campfire? I'm guessing.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd be carefully like watching, but yeah, around the campfire, but always being my military background self and not trusting anybody, so always keeping an eye out.
Also, how far are you from the road? Well, center of the road, more like.
But we'd be the same distance off the road that the main camp is.
Okay.
Just further back.
So their little section is more cut out, has a little crescent shape to it into the forest. Yours, because you did a little bit back, it didn't really, the forest didn't really do that little cutout. So you guys are a little bit closer to the road. With that being closer to the road, I'm gonna guess your fire is pointed, or you're sitting towards the road, and your back towards the
Yes.
forest.
Yep.
Okay. So while you're just sitting there, you just see carts with torches going by. You know, the cage carts just going by, just in a trot fashion.
Easy Ace, just because it's called Dungeons and Dragons doesn't mean it's all Dungeons and Dragons.
Some are empty, and some of them are full. But after
Talk
a
to
while,
Wizards of
it
the
just
Coast about that.
dies down. You don't really see anyone passing anymore.
So, what order do we want to keep watching, guys? And I asked this while I'm cleaning up the pot with a little water from my water skin.
I can always take double watch again because I only need the 4 hours.
Well, I can follow up after you for a couple hours.
I don't mind watching for a couple hours.
Wonderful. Everyone else has it. I'm going for a full night's sleep.
Works for me.
Oh, and also with that, I'm going to take all the scrap fruit and everything and give it to the elk and the horse.
I'm good with that. I don't like having wasted food, so
Yeah. I'm sure the orc will gladly have it. All right, so you guys go through the first watch.
Oops.
There's Finland.
Sorry, that was my bad.
I'm out of here, suckers.
I clicked the wrong button.
All right, so who's going first on the watch?
Fenland's taking a double shift.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that he'll take half the night.
Okay. So first shift, perception check.
Yeah. All right. Actually, I'm gonna use regular dice this time because I didn't like my first roll using D&D Beyond. So, it's perception, right? So I got +3.
Yeah.
Okay. So I didn't roll much better, but that first roll was a 9 +3, so 12.
Okay. Nothing happens during your shift. It's just calm. You once in a while see one of Atsha's guards just patrol, but that's like about like a little whiles away, but you can see him glowing in the dark, so it's pretty obvious.
Hmm.
But nope, nothing happens.
I suppose you want a second roll?
Yep.
Oh, even worse. Okay, I'm going, but this one was a 4, so 7.
7. Okay. Same thing. Nothing really happens.
Okay,
Who's doing third watch?
I'll do third watch.
That was I was third. Eureka is the final watch.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I don't
Alright.
mind being up
When
early.
am I doing watch then?
You know what they say: early bird gets the worm.
We got it. You didn't have to do watch tonight. You and Galen have this one off, or you and Claire have this one off.
Wonderful.
Okay. So with that perception, like literally you see everything. You're like, oh, there's a bird in the sky flying in. There's a bat. Yeah. There's all the stars. Like, and you also see on the ground, like you see the guards circle over at Atsha's place. Maybe an occasional traveler that goes down the road at night, but nothing ever happens.
Now Eureka's up.
Take it. It's my turn for a perception check.
Yep. All right. So it's been 8 hours, right, for all of you?
yep.
Well, so nothing ever happens during your shift except for at the very end when one of the guards comes over to you and talks to you in Ignan
Say what now, buddy?
Pig Latin.
and kind of like points at the cart, their campsite.
Getting ready to roll out. Kind of like mime, carts moving on.
So we all got long rests, right?
Yep.
Do a performance check because I really want to know how this is played out.
Yeah, a bird trying to mime. This is gonna be great.
Yes.
I'm gonna link back to that GIF we put in.
For those who didn't catch it, that was a long rest.
Yeah, it was longest. Okay. So you are somehow able to mime this way of saying rolling out, and he kind of like nods a little bit, still in confusion, but still nods, and walks back over to his campsite.
Like, yep, they're getting ready to move out, guys.
And you can also notice from like at the end of your shift that their stuff is like already packed up. The slaves are back in the cages. Camp slate is all put away.
Pack it up quick. They're ready to go.
So who wants to steer the cart?
I don't know how to ride a horse.
You don't have to ride the horse. You sit on the cart.
I don't even know how to use a horse. I fly everywhere.
Who's got the best animal handling?
Definitely not me.
Does anybody good with animals other than me with my particular weight addition to the cart?
Not I.
How about the guy that has been walking around with the elk and fed the horse? I'm sure he knows how to get the horse to pull the wagon.
Don't know, you'd have to ask the horse.
Well, can you
That's
ask
not
the
like a
horse if he wouldn't mind pulling the wagon a bit? He gets free meals out of it.
Doesn't work like that easy.
Well,
Ace.
I guess they wouldn't be free. He gets meals for pulling the cart.
Yeah, all right. So I'm going to walk up to the horse at this particular time and kind of speak with animals on myself, communicating thusly to the horse that We would like for it to be cooperative in assisting with us in pulling the cart to our destination, and to, if it wouldn't mind, kind of react to whatever is being tugged on by the person that's sitting behind them.
That won't happen either, Easy Ace. Sorry to disappoint.
The horse kind of like neighs a little bit and just stands there.
But it doesn't talk back.
Nope.
He can't speak with animals.
What was that?
I was seeing if Holland caught that you had cast speak with animals.
Let me look something up.
Do you need me to link it for you?
You have to listen and see how it all role plays out.
This is a little hard because horses don't have a language.
They technically kind of do, but the verbal communication kind of translate
Hello,
into what the beast
Tobias.
would
Welcome
understand,
to the stream.
and they'd be able to provide that information back in a way that a druid would be able to understand it.
Okay. I kind of like nods his head.
Wonderful.
Right.
I look back at the rest of these morons and nod my head.
All right.
Oh, sorry, that last bit wasn't supposed to be out there.
I'm going to walk over and take the horse and hook it up and wait for Atsha's group to take off. And I'm just going to walk alongside the horse for now.
Okay. So you guys, they see you already hook up the horse and everything, so they start moving off.
We'll take off right behind him.
Yep, let's follow.
So if anybody wants to ride in the cart, you guys can. I'm going to keep my heavy butt off.
So, with you guys following, you guys keep like a decent pace because it's actually a horse carrying this cart. You notice that the road's a little bit more bumpier than you thought. Whoever's walking doesn't notice this.
Yeah, gonna keep my 400 plus pounds off the cart, so I'm walking right alongside the horse, keeping it on track. But for the most part, just letting it walk straight.
I mean, I'm just gliding with that,
Is there anybody in the
big
cart?
treetop.
Even if they're just sitting like on the back?
Well, who's driving the cart?
I'm guiding the horse out front.
Oh, okay.
I'm walking alongside it. If it gets off course, I just kind of nudge it or pull it back on course.
Just nudge it.
Yep.
All right. So, I don't think anyone is in the cart except for the cages.
Galen and Glare, where are you guys at?
Walking behind it with the elk again.
Galen?
He must be an RP and Arc at the moment.
Good.
Maybe he had to go to the gentleman's room.
I think he died.
Good.
I'm here. What's up?
How much did you miss?
No, I've been listening.
You listen to him call your name and
No.
what you've been doing.
He probably nodded off.
Sitting here, everybody's been sleeping.
So you missed the question that we asked you completely, I'm assuming.
Yeah. What was the question? Hell.
Where are you standing? Or where are you at? There's nobody else on the cart at the moment, and I'm guiding it out front.
I said I was behind it.
Oh, we didn't hear you.
Oh, well.
That's why we all started bursting out of laughter when you finally responded. And we couldn't hear
Yeah.
you.
Continue, please.
All right, so nobody's actually on the cart other than the ones in the cages.
Yeah, I would think that's the case.
All right, let me see. Roll things.
So I'm gonna mention that we should probably have somebody on the cart so it doesn't look so weird. Having an entire cart to pull 3 small cages.
Well, I mean, you're the big guy. Wouldn't you be the one that the cart needed to pull?
Well, you have to remember sometimes value is not value is not assessed by size. These were not cheap.
I could go on the cart as like
Yeah.
a guard style.
Yeah, I'm more or less just encouraging one of us to be on the cart for appearances more than anything.
Yep.
Oh, I'm just gliding like right over the top of the cart.
I'll sit on
anyways.
the cart. Well, doesn't matter. I'll sit on the cart next to my pseudo dragon.
Okay, so in the back.
Considering where we're going, the less attention we attract, the better.
You're a giant turtle, and we have a bird. We got plenty of
Yes.
attention.
Yeah,
Let
and we
them
were
go.
just at
So-
an auction with giant lizards and demons and
Exactly.
spiders.
Exactly. So it would seem kind of weird if the mostly animal race is the only one getting a ride while everybody else is made to walk. It might attract a bit of attention.
Sure.
I mean, we could always, tie some chains on them, complete the look.
We don't need to be that thorough.
So Gustav is going to be on the cart, and then I'll stay behind.
Oh, good.
Gustav is dangling
Or
legs off the
Gustav,
back.
sorry.
Gustav, yes.
Okay,
And
you
I'm gonna-
Mentally talking
I'm
with
gonna
pseudo dragon.
Throw my pack into the back of the cart.
okay. So you guys continue down the way. It's about a day's worth of travel that you did. They go back to the side of the road, and one of the guards comes over to you guys and starts talking in a different language. Ignan.
I'm just gonna cock my head and look at him.
At the back of the cart, I can still hear them talking, right?
Yeah, and he sighs. He's like, ah. And then he starts talking to a different language.
I ask in Draconic, what is the what do you need?
He says in Draconic, we're setting up camp, or do you want to continue with us and go for another day travel?
We're setting up camp again?
Yeah, it's a 2-day
Oh,
thing.
okay.
So
How long have we been on the road since we left?
been on the road for like 12 hours.
Oh hell. Then yes.
Since we took off in the morning, I'm assuming.
Yeah, so it's like 8
Okay.
o'clock at night again.
Oh, okay, okay,
So-
that makes
yeah.
more sense.
So a full day went by. Yeah. Yes, we shall do the same as yesterday.
He kind of nods and goes back to his site, and they start putting up camp again. Same exact way, same method.
I'll be doing the same thing again.
Okay, so do the same thing again.
Yep.
I'll be primarily standing guard again.
Okay.
You take a moment to give pseudo dragon some food. Speak with it kindly as well.
Okay, so what are you talking to us today?
Before I start cooking, though, I'm gonna do some foraging for fruits and vegetables.
All right. That would be
Can I help with that?
Yeah, survival check. You guys either do 2 survival checks, 1 for each of you.
One each, and then take the better one.
Oh no, you each do 1,
Or
or
one person goes at advantage.
yeah.
We could each do one.
Sure.
Gives us higher odds of getting, I guess, what same odds, but
That's in that 1.
wow. Are you kidding me?
So worth that.
You're not very surviving, are you?
I have +6 on survival.
You got that 1 from it. So Marco, you're looking around like you got some survival instincts, and you just remember, oh, I'm so good at this, and you're like,
In other words, I got cocky.
yeah, I got cocky, and you're like, none of this suits us. You just didn't like what was on in the forest. Finland, on the other
believe that.
hand,
Thanks
is
for the
just like, oh, I know this
follow,
forest. You're just
booty
like
gobbles.
grabbing stuff
I will stretch when I get a second here.
like berries and some leaves that are edible too.
I'll also point things out to Marco and be asking, like, is this what you need for your cooking? And make sure I'm getting the right things for him.
Yep. Make sure you grab extras of the edible leaves.
Will do.
With natural 1 survival, is he getting like leaves for bum rags that are like?
No, I don't grab anything. I didn't
Okay,
grab-
just making
I didn't
sure.
grab anything.
He literally looks over the forest and he's like, nothing will do for my cooking.
Yep. Which is completely realistic with Marco.
So, Galen, what are you talking to about your pseudo dragon?
Just telling him the same thing we were talking about. As soon as this ordeal
As
is
long
over,
as you
we
don't
shall
have a camera on
get him
Wet
out of
Poodle,
that
you can
cage
wear
and
whatever you want.
discuss if partnership is something that we could arrange.
Okay. Pseudo dragon
So-
like kind of responds in a telepathic way. So okay.
After we get back from foraging, I'll spend about 40 minutes prepping a meal. It'll be a simpler stew with dried meat in it instead of the fresh raw meat. And then kind of a makeshift side salad with the leaves and berries and some fruit out of my bag.
All right. So it's gonna be a charisma check.
God, I hate you. You and the damn charisma checks.
Not
Hey.
bad. It's about the same as last time.
Rolled high enough.
I have to roll high because it's a negative.
-2, I
modifier.
saw that.
Well, if you were proficient in cooking utensils, maybe someone would be able to.
I am.
Are you adding that to your thing?
No,
Oh, well.
I didn't know I was supposed to.
Oh, it's a cooking check, so you add your
No.
proficiency to your charisma, or whatever check I do for cooking.
Let's see.
So it's
There
whatever.
would always be dexterity checks.
Well, that depends on what you're doing for cooking. I have a little list here that I follow. There you go. And so yeah, with that, meal comes out. Same as last time.
Okay.
Alright, so you guys are all having a meal again, enjoying yourself.
And there's portions for everybody, including the companions.
Yep, and then you have to add one more set because of the horse.
I just give the horse a couple fruits out of my bag.
How's it going, Booty?
Okay. Just make sure you're marking those off.
Oh yeah, I am. I'm gonna need to heavily restock when we get there. I'm burning a lot of my food that I stocked up on.
Okay, so you guys go through the night. something. Okay, nothing happens during the night.
We didn't even have to roll. Nice.
No, like it's that's just guards are there, and no one's passing anymore, so it doesn't matter. So you guys wake up again at AM in the morning. You guys packed up just the same day, and you guys followed him again. Is anyone else sitting in the cart again this time?
I'll just sit in the cart again with the little dragon.
Okay. So you guys go down the road, and you do make that slight turn that he was suggesting at the split. And you notice that the bumpy road that you were feeling, Galen, the entire time stops. And it's actually a nice smooth road now.
Finally.
So you guys come up, and you guys come up to a it is a wooden archway as wide as about 3 carts to get through. The gate is open. There's no guards at all. Uh, the gate looks like it's just stuck held open. And are you gonna follow Atsha through the gate?
Depends. Does it look like there was a sign of battle or anything?
No, it's just a wooden gate.
That is a poorly kept gate. This makes me a little nervous.
This
If I fly up to the top of the gate, what can I see?
There's no one there. It's literally like the chain was tied to be almost permanently keeping the gate open.
This is the town that Atsha said is like a flea market or whatever.
Yeah, so basically you see this archway, and then there is no wall around it. It's literally just like this open dirt section with a bunch of huts around.
Why have a gate?
Assuming this is not the original purpose of the town.
I was gonna say this may have been a town that was taken over by, because this is still a sketchy area, right?
Yeah, this is very
Yeah,
sketchy.
So
I'm assuming this is a repurposed town.
that's what I'm thinking.
You
the
know,
race area we were at, they said the sketchy area we were at said this was even more sketchy. So yes.
so you notice that the road wasn't cobblestone after the turn you made at the split. It turned into dirt.
Dirt leading into the town?
No, so like when you originally went into the split, remember when Ashley was telling you about the split?
Yep.
How to get this down? It was take about half a day, and then you guys came to the split. And then when you guys turned, it turned into a dirt road rather than a hard, like not gravel, but
Paved?
yeah, kind of like a sort of paved road in a way in medieval times, kind of.
Did the
Are you talking more like hard pack where it's still dirt, but it's extremely well traveled, where it's almost
Yeah.
like a hard.
Yeah, like it's almost clay.
Yeah. It's just a dirt road that's been packed from extreme overuse.
Yep,
And no maintenance.
Yep, and the one that you went on to was a lot softer.
So a lot less
Okay.
wear.
a lot less traveled?
You can still see like the wheel, going through like sections of dirt, stuff like that. And when like a new cart, goes through, you can still see that it makes an indent in this dirt because it's so soft.
Okay.
So Atsha goes through with all his carts. Are you following him through?
Yeah.
Might as well
Okay.
say we may as well.
I vote we stick with him for now.
Yep.
Okay. So he
Makes
pulls
sense.
off to the side and kind of goes around. Like basically, what you see is you see a bunch of huts, and then in the center there is this wooden structure with a few cranking systems. Uh, it looks like someone like is on top, like cranking this with a bunch of gears attached. So he goes, and then around this these huts that you see, there's a slight path going around on the outside, and he goes around on the outside, and he parks all the carts, lets the slaves out, with their chains on, just so they can like walk around a little bit outside the cart. And the guards are staying put, except for two of them that go with Atsha. But you notice Atsha grabs, he goes into his own cart and grabs something in a satchel and puts it underneath his coat. Like when he's walking out, you kind of like see this bag in his hand.
I guess pull up our cart right up behind their 5 carts. So, should we get to restocking before we do anything else?
What are we restocking? I've got.
Well, I
Potions.
am down to just a couple pieces of edible food. So I have an immense amount of restocking I need to do.
All right.
Feeding a lot of mouths.
Almost twice as many as when we started.
Yeah, actually, exactly twice as many. We have 3 small companions and 2 larger companions. So 10 mouths to feed is a lot.
Yep.
Okay. And so, are you going to follow Atsha, or are you going to kind of like park the cart
So-
and go on your own way?
So I need to restock, so I'm going to go restock. But I would say we should probably have somebody watch the cart and somebody and some group go with Atsha to find out what he's up to.
We came here to do what again?
Restock and travel to the next town to meet Skitter, if I remember right.
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 So we should probably find out what Atch is up to because he was going to help with that. So we should probably stick with him.
I think he said
And I-
this was the last town that we'd be able to restock at for a while.
For a while,
Yeah.
yes.
So who wants to watch the cart? Because if we leave nobody watching the cart, we may find our companions gone.
Yeah, I can watch
I
the
will
cart.
watch the cart.
I can stay at the cart as well. I don't really need.
So who wants to go with Galen? Or not Galen, Atsha.
Who's better with talking to people?
Who can talk to people?
I have very, very low charisma. I am not
Gustav
a.
doesn't really talk much.
I'd say to talk, just stick with him so we don't lose track of him.
He's got all of his. How's we gonna lose track of him? He's got like carts everywhere.
So, who's going up to Atsha?
Fine, I'll go.
All right.
Alright. So you go up to Atsha, and he kind of like looks over and says, "Oh, how can I help you?" See, you made it here.
Okay, so this is the place.
Yes, this is the place.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna go off and look for a grocer of some kind.
So he suggests this, he's like, "Well, you can stick with me, and we can put you out to some places,
Oh, that
Oh.
sounds great.
or you can explore yourself."
Yeah, I'll just you can point me out to some good places. Then I don't have to, shop around quite so much.
Okay, okay. He's like, well, you might want to leave your cart, and I'll put a guard.
Yeah, the others are gonna stay with the cart.
Well, I could put a guard on him.
Nah, it'll be all right with them there. I can take all the recommendations back to them and see what they want to buy.
It's a lot of stuff.
Well, I mean, they seem to want to stay with the cart, so
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe they're just tired.
All right.
I didn't exactly have to walk here or anything, so. It was a nice, easy glide.
All right. So, who is going with Atsha? We're actually going shopping.
I'm going shopping, but I took off on my own, so I don't have Ash's recommendations. I'm off looking for somebody that sells fruits and vegetables and meats.
Yeah, I would actually.
I'm pretty much wandering aimlessly looking for a grocer of some kind.
Okay. So the upper part of this market, it's very bare of what's being sold. You'll see like knickknacks and little sculptures and kind of stuff that are like collectibles. Once in a while, say like a modern sword, just a regular sword, or like a weapons vendor that's just a regular weapon. And there's 4 rows of this. So each vendor has its own. And in the center you saw that structure with gears going on and stuff like that.
So, what is that big thing in the middle there?
That is what we're here for.
Oh, really? Is that the stadium?
That is our entrance.
That's the door.
That's the door.
Oh my.
So his 2 guards are, like you're walking beside him, I'm guessing. And then the 2 guards are on the outside of you too. They're like a little bit farther back. Like maybe like 2 or 3 feet behind you instead, but like they're still walking next to you guys a little bit.
So we look like, successful personnel that you should probably not mess with.
Yeah, kind of like guarding your person. They're kind of like making sure, no one's gonna pickpocket you here, basically. So he takes you to this structure, and it's maybe the size of a house with all these gears going on, and you notice that there's this rope system going up and down. You can hear cranking and some clatter of wood. And he kind of like points you into the doorway of this building-looking structure.
Well, I'm gonna keep pace with him. If he's going in, then I'm going in, although slightly nervously.
Okay, so you guys, he goes in, you go in, guards follow behind, and he just kind of like waits his turn. And when you get up to this section, you notice that you are put in. There's someone there that points you to a certain line. And there's someone else at the end and kind of like puts his hand out and says, "Wait, please." And you see this wooden platform raise from below. And he says, "Step on, please." And Atsha just walks on the platform.
Okay. Well, I'll follow him onto the platform.
The guards follow you. Some other people behind you kind of like follow.
I'm curious about how this thing works.
It's an elevator system, basically. with just gears controlling it, and someone is it's like physics. Like if you put enough gears, you don't have to do as much work. And there's someone actually cranking this the whole time.
Bet that's a fun job.
So you are lowered down in, and for maybe about 30 feet, it's just dark. One of the people that's not in your party like put up an orb that's glowing, just so we have light in there. It's just glowing, and then after all the darkness and with the light, you notice that below you there is a glow and a roar of a crowd, just talking nonstop. Kind of like you're just in like a giant room with a whole bunch of people talking at the same time. There are levels that you are passing on. It's kind of like if you ever seen the movie Valerian.
What movie?
Valerian. It is
Doesn't sound
the
familiar.
fantasy
One based
version.
off of the anime?
Oh, it's a comic book. It's big market. Basically, there are levels and levels of these market places. Tons of people around, all kinds of people. A lot of them look very scummy and criminal-like. A lot of them look like races are similar to what you saw in the auction. And that's just like, this is what we're here for. So, what are you looking for?
You're the only one with a.
Well, I need to get some extra foodstuffs for the purchases. And that's a good question. I forgot to ask what the others wanted. Ha 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 ha.
I just pictured the bird laugh. It was hilarious in my mind.
I'm starting to wonder where I ended up.
Did you ever take the elevator down?
I don't know. You haven't said anything on my guy.
Okay, so for you, do
Because I was aiming to find. I would have been asking questions to people I passed too, trying to find where I could get food from.
Okay, so you pass like you're going up and down. I'm guessing that you're going up and down the aisles on the very like top.
Pretty much, I'm just walking around blind looking for a grocer.
All right, do a we'll do a perception check.
Ugh, finally nice to me. And then the game's not.
You look around, you're like, there's a bunch of junk here. Like you find like there's like not even food. You just like find like it looks like junk that's like there's like furniture from houses that like are worn. There's swords that are
So,
gently used.
is there anybody around me that I can ask where the market is that I heard about?
There are people kind of like browsing a little bit, and then there's also the market tellers.
I'm gonna go to the market tellers and just ask where a good place to get some food supplies would be.
So you just walk up to one of them. Let's see which one you go. No.
Oh no, that's never good when you hear a DM roll.
That's actually not that bad. Okay. You found like, a little old goblin was kind of like polishing a jar. and he's got like some jars with like different body parts in it on his table. That's the one that you go up to,
Of course.
and he's like, how can I help you?
I'm looking for a place to stock up on raw meat and fruits and vegetables and general groceries.
Okay, so you want to go to below ground?
Okay. How do I get there?
You want to take the elevator?
All right. You want to point me in the general direction I need to go?
He cut with his shortness. He kind of like points to the giant building with all the gears. He's like, you want to go there?
All right.
Take the elevator
thank you.
down. I think it's like 6th or 7th level you want.
I'm going to drop a gold coin on the counter and thank you for the information. And I'm going to head towards that spot.
All right.
Coin.
He like grabs it, and, like slips it in his pocket, nods. When you
Yeah,
walk
that was a
away.
big tip.
I know. All right, so I'm going to head for the elevator.
Yep. So you wait in line. It's like the same. You wait in line. Guy says, "Come forward." Platform rises. You step on the platform. You have no idea what's happening right now. You're like, this is a platform. I don't know where this goes.
I'm going to go ahead. I mean, the goblin did say I needed to go to the underground, and it looks like an elevator that's going down, so.
So a bunch of other people come on the platform with you. I need you to make a perception check.
Okay.
Okay. You catch a guy trying to trying to pickpocket you, basically.
Yeah, I'm just going to grab him and pin him to the floor by the back of his neck.
Okay. So he is a elvish, like drow figure, and he kind of like holding his hands at your claw on the ground.
So
And it's like,
you
I'm sorry.
you want to try that again, or do we need to have a conversation with a guard?
Nope, we're good. And also, there's no guards here.
That's okay. I got a knife I call guard.
Nope, we're good.
Once we get to the bottom, I'll let him go.
All right. So you guys, you pass the darkness area, and then it opens up to all the levels you go down, and it drops you off all the way at the bottom. There's probably about 30 levels.
I'm gonna take a look around for a general look to see if there's either anybody I recognize or if I recognize anywhere that might be a grocery area
Okay.
to try and get my bearings.
Okay, we're gonna go to the people at the cart. What are you guys doing?
At the cart, I'm just
Gather the
standing
cart.
guard.
What does Galen do? It. He's a
Pretty
standing
much.
guard.
Yeah, just thought I'm spending time with Pseudo Dragon.
Okay, and Claire's doing the same thing, I'm guessing.
Giving,
the elk-
every once in a while it looks like it's hungry, I give it a ration.
Okay.
Kind of
And
thought.
the answer is yes, and just playing with the horses and the elk.
Okay.
I mean, to be fair, we stopped at last place as well and stocked up. Haven't done anything since. Haven't used any supplies.
I'm
It's
just
because I'm providing all the meals.
I mean, I was going to shop for equipment for the Sprite and, you know, some
Okay.
rations for the Sprite.
Okay, so you guys are at the cart, so I'm just dealing with Eric and Marco at this point.
Yep.
Yep.
It's Yurik and Marco. I mean, I might be juggling like some fake knives, some illusionary knives from my.
Unless we
Yeah,
have a
let's figure
reason
it
to
out.
be rolling for perception or something.
Oh, nothing ever happens up there.
Or a dex check on them knives.
Yeah.
They're fake. They're not actually real. I can make them do whatever I want them to. They're not actually real knives.
Oh, they're magic knives.
Yeah, they're magic knives that I can move my hands back and they would still be juggling there.
Okay, Yurik, so you're going. Actually, kind of like wonders, like, what are you looking for down here?
Well, I need to get some equipment for that little Fey that I bought.
Okay.
I mean, it's going to be useless if I can't put it to work, right?
So you want that? He kind of like looks around, like, that would be there. He kind of like points upwards. And it's like, that's 14th level. We're going to.
14, huh?
And so he guides you through the crowd. Like, he goes first, and then you follow him, and the guards follow behind.
Yeah. I really appreciate you leading me around like this. I'm going to save so much time this way.
He takes you to this. On the first floor, there's a whole bunch of people, standing around, talking like that. There's a few vendors down there, but there's also small doorways, and he goes to one of the doorways, and it has a number on top. It says 14, and he says, "Come on, come on!"
Okay.
And he
I
opens.
assume this is a set of stairs or something?
Nah, this is not stairs. There's 30 levels here. I'm not taking you upstairs. He walks through this doorway. The doorway is basically like those hanging beads.
Okay.
And he walks through, and then you see there's a slight glow behind the beads, and he disappears.
I'm going to walk through because I have a suspicion as to what this is.
Okay, so you walk through, and you get teleported to a different level.
As I thought. Why did they not just put those at the top?
But why would this place be a secret if it just looks
Okay,
like a
fair.
normal place?
Yeah, all those gears do not make it look normal.
It's hidden in a house. It's fine. People think this is a mining town anyway. And then so the guards come behind you and go through the portal. He says, "Okay, we're going to..." And then he's like, "How much are you willing to spend?"
That's a good question. I don't have a whole lot left. That Sprite was expensive.
Alright, we'll get simple gear then. That's fine. A sprite carries a long sword and a short bow.
Yeah, that's basically. I want to, replenish.
Because he already has his armor, the sprite armor already. So you're just looking for the weapons he normally carries.
Yeah, because I know those would have been taken away from him.
Yep. So he goes into like towards the side, passes all these vendors, lots of shiny things that you're passing.
Ooh, I'm trying to stay with him, but my head keeps turning with the shiny objects I keep seeing.
And
So you see him like stumble every now and then as he's like caught with something that's super shiny.
okay. And the guards kind of like stumble over you a little bit, and like kind of like they pick you up when you stumble a little bit because they're walking right behind you.
Oh, sorry, guys. It's just so pretty.
And you see Atsha turn the corner down this alleyway. And there's more vendors on each side, people standing in front of these. He kind of like scooches through the crowd in the middle.
Okay, I'm just gonna focus on catching up with Atsha.
Okay, so he stops at a stall. It's a little less crowded, and you finally catch up to him. The guards behind him, and what the guards do is they turn around, facing the other direction from your back, just keeping watch. And Atsha in Draconic speaks something to the owner. The owner is a dragonborn. His scales are red. It's got like a slightly like that scaly beard going on, and kind of like nods. And then he switches to common, the dragonborn. He says, "All right, what you need?"
Okay, do you have any Fey gear? Like sprite-sized gear?
Sprite, and he's
Hold
kind of
my
like
fingers up about 8 inches tall.
he's like, "I know what a sprite looks like." Hey.
They're not very common. I figured, you know.
Taking a look at the back, you notice that all the gear in his little like out part, like now these aren't actually huts now. These are actually like inlets, kind of like you ever like go to like a sports game? It's like the food stall area. Like,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
they're actually like built structures for a market area. And kind of like you see on the wall that like you see a couple fey creatures on the wall in cages. You see like little uniform like armor sets and weapons, and then like they kind of like grow in size.
All right. So let's pick out a long sword and a short bow for the sprite.
So he grabs a longbow off the shelf, but to you it's like a letter opener because
Yeah,
they're
I'm
tiny.
okay with this.
And then he grabs a bow from a bin, and it's about the sprite size. And he throws it on the table. He says, "All right."
And some arrows for this bow.
Kind of grabs underneath the counter, and in his hand, they're almost as big as like his fist, a little bit bigger, and he like plops down. It's like there's 20.
Grabs a handful and throws them on the counter.
Like they're not even bundled. He just like throws it, and like they all kind of like go a little bit everywhere. And he like leans his elbow on the counter. He's like, "All right."
All right. You don't have any prepackaged provisions, do you?
For a fey,
Yes.
goes to another crate, grabs like these leaf wrapped provisions and slaps them on the table.
Ah, perfect. Man, you are a lifesaver.
I focus in fey.
All right. Is there anything else I might need? I don't think he. I don't think he actually needs anything. I don't want him, getting carried away or anything. Yeah. This'll do. This'll do nicely. Sorry, I had to think about it for a minute.
All right. Well,
How much?
this all comes to 23 gold and 6 silver.
23 gold. Oh man, that's a really good deal. I'll hand over 23 gold.
Okay. He takes the gold, pushes the stuff towards your end of the counter.
All right, I'm pull out a little side bag and a piece of twine, and I'm gonna scrunch the arrows up and just kind of wrap them up with a piece of twine so that
Okay.
they stay together in a bundle, and hook those, the bow and the sword, into a little pouch and tie it at my waist.
Okay. And Atsha's like, he kind of nods at the guy, kind of nods back. And Atsha's like, is that all you need?
That's all I need. I don't know what else the others need. I'm sure if they needed something, they'd have come with us, but
All right. And he's like, well, do you want to come on my errand?
I mean, I might as well. I mean, you were so kind to show me around. It's only fair that I help you with whatever you need.
All right. Just watch your purse.
Purse.
That satchel with your money in it.
You mean the thing that I always keep around my neck so that nobody can touch?
Yeah, be careful with that. And he kind of like walks off. And he goes back to like the main section where the portals are.
I'm just gonna, tag along and let you deal with the other stuff now.
Okay, now we're gonna go to Marco. Marco, you're going down and you go to the very bottom, and you just I guess you let go of this guy.
Yeah, when we get to the bottom of the elevator, I let him go, and I kind of shoved him away.
Yeah, so you shove him away, and you walk off, and you see there's a giant crowd of probably every race you could imagine, creatures you can imagine that can function in a way of humanoid feature. And you see there's stalls, some stalls around, and then you see these doorways with these beads coming down with numbers on top.
Okay. Do I notice anything that could lead me in the direction of food vendors?
Well, the goblin did tell you it was about 6th level.
Oh, okay. That's
So,
right.
so you want to find the doorway that is 6th level.
All right, I'm gonna head for that then, looking for that.
Okay. So you finally find this doorway and you find the beads. Are you going to go through it, or are you going to pause?
I'll go through it.
Okay. So you
I
go
mean, there's not
through it,
much choice.
and you're kind of hesitant because you're not really sure. It looks like it's a dead end on the other side of these beads, and you walk through and you pop out on a different level, facing the outside.
Oh, that was a bit jarring. Can't say I'm a fan of that.
So now that you realize you're on a level that there is probably every single piece of food you can imagine in any of these stalls. And at this point, your mind's like, oh my god, I could use so much of this.
And this is the point where we lose the turtle for 4 weeks straight.
That's not even an exaggeration. I'm gonna start by looking for anything that would have fruits or vegetables.
Okay, so there are some like exotic fruits and vegetables like everywhere. Depends. Like, are you looking for like more domestic ones? Looking for exotic ones?
I'm very tempted by the exotic, but I need to start with basic, the more standard local fruits and vegetables. Flavors that I'm more familiar with.
Okay. So you go with like the normal vegetables. So you find like you're looking around at the general area on the outside, and you see these like alleyways go back, and there's more vendors and people back there. And you eventually find like the vegetable section among the fruits, and you kind of like lead your way through there. At this point, you find yourself, you're like, okay, these are the general fruits that you're used to in this area.
All right, so I'm looking for about 15 portions of veggies and fruits each.
Okay, so I'm gonna go by pounds here.
I can't hear anybody. Crap.
We can hear you.
I can hear you too.
I will be right back if y'all can hear me.
We can hear you. You can't hear us.
Caden broke.
He's running away. He just needed an excuse.
Yeah.
Can you hear us now? I feel like those cell phone commercials. Can you hear me now?
He's dead.
Maybe those were Canadian commercials. I don't know.
Oh no, we had him here too.
Okay.
I think Caden died. Caden!
He said he'll be right back, so.
Yeah, I think he said he'll be right back, so you can keep going with the.
Okay, so with the so you're used to these vegetables, so you're looking for a portion. So I'm gonna go by this by pounds. So how many pounds are you looking for?
We'll still go 15 of each.
15 pounds of each. Okay.
Ooh.
And what kind of fruit are you looking for? Or vegetables?
Vegetables, it'll be a mix of root vegetables and so potatoes, carrots, that
Okay.
kind of thing.
So you're only
And
with
then-
15 pounds of root vegetables.
And then the fruits will be kind of the basic stuff that you would normally find foraging, so more treetop type stuff like apples, oranges,
Okay.
that kind of thing.
So that kind of stuff. We'll go. And you go with 15 pounds of that too.
Yep.
So it's only cost you about 7 gold and 5 silver pieces for all that.
Okay.
Because it's like generic,
Yeah.
stuff that you can, a farmer around the area could get.
Okay.
So you kind of like, you go to the vendor and you're like, you're asking for this. They kind of bring you to the bin that they have, and like you kind of pick out. I'm guessing you're picky about what the vegetable or fruit looks like.
Yeah, no, I would notice if it was bad.
Yeah. So you gotta pick it. You pick your 15 pounds of fruit, and they charge you that amount, and they kind of put it in like a crate for you.
Okay. And then from there, I'm looking for 15 pounds of normal local meat, and then maybe 2 pounds of something exotic for meat.
Okay, so just regular meat.
Yes, 15 pounds of normal local, just something
So-
like boar.
Okay, so you go look around. There's a Caden. Can you hear us now?
I'm guessing not.
No, maybe not.
I don't know if he can hear us.
Okay. See, so you're looking for like boar for like the common meat.
Yep.
So that's only gonna run you 1 gold and 5 silver.
Okay.
And then for the exotic meat, you can find some interesting things. You can find like types of fish meat, types of certain exotic creatures. You find a little section that's like cannibal, so you can find like different races of meat.
Okay. The... All right. So for the exotic meat, we'll do. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoops, that was not quantity. There we go. Okay. I got that stuff sorted out. So for the exotic meat, something aquatic, some sort of sea life meat.
Okay.
Kind of think about what the options for that would be. Do I see anything along those lines that would be more
So
of an
like
aquatic type meat?
aquatic could be like a constrictor snake, uh, dolphins. Some people have found maybe some dragon turtles. Find some tentacles, octopus, seahorses, shark, eels.
Actually, why don't we go with shark meat?
Shark meat. Okay.
That could be interesting.
And so you go to like one of these vendors and you see like there's hanging types of fish, and you see like there's a couple of sharks hanging, and you see a guy just butchering away these carcasses and cleaning them, slicing them. And so you walk up to one of the vendors while he's doing that. Says, "How can I help you?"
I'm looking for about 2 to 3 pounds of shark meat.
Okay, 2 or 3 pounds. All right. He grabs one of the sharks. Now this is like a huge minotaur figure, dark brown fur, black beady eyes, long horns, with an apron on, with pants. And he grabs one of these sharks off the wall. It's probably about like 3 times as big as him, and plops it down onto the counter and chops off the shark's head. Opens up his belly, guts the whole thing in front of you, and cuts off basically an entire slice and puts it on a scale. And he like leans over like by the tail part where he can see over. He's like, "Do you want the end or the front?"
Oh, at the tail end.
Tail end. So he takes off that piece. He throws it on like a piece of paper in the back, and cuts off the tail, and then starts chopping away towards the end of this shark. Kind of like throws the small fillets on a scale, and he's like, was it 2 pounds or 3 pounds?"
We'll go 3.
3 pounds. All right. So he weighs it and lays it and puts his 3 pound weight on there. balances out. It's like kind of like nods a little bit when it evens out. Wraps it up in paper for you. He's like, all right, shark meat per pound, 3. It's be 45 gold.
All right. Sounds good to me, and I'll count up the coins and set them on the counter.
All right. He quickly counts them, throws them in. Like brings out like this little container and counts them real quick while putting them in the jar. And he says, have a nice day. And he picks up the shark again and throws it on the hook behind him.
So I got 2 questions for you. Where can I find some cooking oil? And what floor would I find blacksmiths on?
Blacksmiths will be, let's see, that would be 5. No, that's not 5. That's it's 13. Blacksmiths are
Okay.
13. And cooking oil, how much do you need?
That I can reuse a couple times, so 2 pounds of it.
2 pounds? Alright, I can spare 2 pounds. And he grabs basically 2 jars there. It's about a pound. And says, it's 4 copper.
All right. Oh, I gotta do a little bit of math here. I gotta break that down in my inventory here.
While you were doing that, we're gonna go back to Yurik.
What?
We're going back to you while Marco is doing that.
I mean, I totally haven't been standing at my workbench next to my desk tearing apart a 3D printer or anything while this is going on.
Okay. How much copper did you say it was?
It was 4 copper.
4 copper. Okay.
Okay, so you were going with Atsha.
Right. I'm just
So-
tagging along for his errands now.
So you guys went through a portal, and he's going to, and he takes you. There is the main line, and there's a couple alleyways, and he takes you through one alleyway, and it splits off again, and splits off again. It's a black market of a black market.
Oh my.
Where you notice that the more you go back there are vendors on each side of you, but the people get less and less the more you go back. And you notice that the more you go back, the scummier people look, or the most dangerous people look. But there are also a lot of glowing and shiny things that these vendors are selling.
I see what it is. You're headed to the good market.
Well, this is just some business I had to take care of while I was here. And he's like, well, how good are your talking skills?
Passable. I mean, I can talk a talk.
Oh, good, you're coming in with me then.
Okay.
So he comes to this door. It's a closed wooden double door with 2 guards outside, and they are drow, armored in this studded leather, and they're holding a double-sided. I forget what they're called. Double-sided sword, whatever it's called, in each hand. And when Atsha walks up, they both hold their stance. And then you notice that they put their weapons together, and they kind of fit together, so it goes into one hand. And then they use their other hand that's free and open the doors, and each one of them pull the door.
Okay.
And Atsha's just waving you to come in.
Okay, well, I'm gonna follow him and act like I belong there.
Okay. So you see he walks in and like it's a room maybe 30 by 20. It's a very small room. And he walks in and he takes a seat at one of the chairs. And there's a desk, a very nice looking carved desk made out of wood. And there is another drow feet kicked up on his desk, crossed. He's sitting, leaning back in a chair, and his hands are just kind of like the fingertips are together, tapping away. And there's also two guards behind him with the same weapons, same outfit.
All right. Well, I'm gonna sit down next to dang nabbit.
Atsha.
Asta. Wow.
And Asta.
That's
a new one for me.
Atsha. My tongue didn't want to work there.
Okay, so you go up to Atsha, and you sit next to him, and Atsha just says, "This is Glock SBL."
Glock and Spiel.
Oh, Glockenspiel. And I am Atsha.
You can just call me Glock.
And these are my two guards. And they kind of they put their hands on their hilts of their swords and just take like an army stance of relaxation, but still on guard. And Atsha kind of like decloaks himself, like puts his hood down. It says, "All right, so we're here for business." And the drow kind of just puts his hands up and says, "All right, what are we gonna do here? We're gonna make a deal, like you said before." And Atsha's like, takes the bag from inside his coat, places it on his desk, and you hear just a kind of like glass hitting table or glass hitting wood.
Okay.
And he says, "I brought the thing." And Jarls kind of like see his eyebrows perk up a little bit. And the drow waves his fingers, and one of the guards goes over, grabs a chest, and sets it on the table and opens it.
Okay. And what am I seeing in this chest?
You are seeing a lot of gold.
Oh my.
Like it's 100 and it's about 150,000 gold pieces in this chest.
Lean over and whisper to Atsha. What exactly are you selling him?
And he kind of like leans over and just like waves you off. Goes, "I want more." And the drummer kind of like looks over to you, Eureka. It's like, "So you brought your negotiator?"
Whisper to Atsha. I need to know the value of the thing we're negotiating here if you want me to negotiate.
What other languages do you know?
Native Arakra, Orin, Common, Thieves' Cant.
All right. So in Thieves' Cant, he switches like it's like a switch Atsha does, and in Thieves' Cant, he tells you in a secret coding that Thieves' Cant has. He says it's worth about 225,000 gold.
225,000. What is this thing exactly?
In Thieves' Cant, he tries to explain it as a creature sealed within an orb.
So you have something that's been soulbound to that crystal?
He kind of like shakes his head.
Oh, lovely. Well, I guess we're gonna have to get to it then. All right. Yes, I will be negotiating because let's face it, you're just throwing out a really low ball figure here.
At this point, Atsha is just like, wow. You know, he's like amazed of like, like holy crow, he's like totally on board with this. At this point, he kind of like this at the satchel. He basically like uncovers the item. The item you see is multicolored. It's an orb with multicolors swirling around in it.
Okay. Does it look familiar? Is it like the other weird orb we've come across? The one that had the portal?
No, do a to be Arcana check.
Oh gosh. Okay.
You're not really sure what kind of orb this is, but you know through Atsha it's very valuable.
Yeah. Alright, so let's say okay, we can turn this over for about 330,000.
Persuasion check for me.
Jesus.
Oh geez.
Oh God. He kind of like leans back in his chair and taps his fingers and waves his hands again and puts another chest on the table. This time it's a lot smaller than the other one. And he's like 200.
300,000.
Make another persuasion check.
Yeah, not so great that time.
200.
Alright, come on, you gotta go at least 250.
No. Other 210.
Come on, we went out of our way to get this for you. I mean, this took some effort. You really, really should go at least 250.
Do a persuasion check.
Ooh.
No. He got that 20 as a
Oh,
insight.
that might be the end of that.
All right. Are you trying to cheat us here? I mean, you know what this is worth. And you're not even going to pay fair market value?
Technically, I did him a favor.
What favor was that?
Saving his nation.
Lean over and whisper to Atsha, did he really save your nation?
Are you saying it in any what language?
I'm going to say it in Thieves' Cant. Just be like, hey, demand save the nation?
He responds and Thieves can't. And he's like, he was an ally in the war.
Okay, so he didn't actually save your nation single-handedly.
He says no. And Thieves
Okay. I can work with that. Yeah, that's still it's not going to cover our costs, even with your assistance during the war. You're gonna have to come up with that price. And I'm starting to get like fluffier and starting to stretch out a little bit.
He kind of, at this point, he puts his feet off the table and puts it under the desk and leans on the desk. And he's like, kind of stares at you. 220.
Okay, out of character. Crap, I forgot what he told me the original value was.
That's what it was.
225.
Yeah, it was 225.
$230. Final offer.
Make a persuasion check, that one.
Oh, Dice, why you do this to me?
Oh, he
That
just
hurt.
stares at you. Says 220.
Lean over and whisper to Atsha, this is the best we're gonna get.
And actually kind of like leans over and says, "Hold on." Pulls out another satchel in his from his coat or cloak, and sets it on the table. He pulls out another orb. It's a lot smaller, and it shows a woman figure. Like in a like a noble house. It's very dark, but like dimly lit, but you can still see her. And everyone in the room can see this orb, and all of a sudden it projects this upwards as like an illusion. So, your sister's still on the table, right? At this point,
What?
That took a turn.
he leans forward and like is furious. It's like, what have you done? I swear to God, Atsha, if you're pulling something. And Atsha's like, yeah. He kind of like leans back in his chair. He's like, go higher on the bid. Nothing will happen.
I'm just gonna lean forward and be like, you should probably listen to the man.
At this point, he's like, all right, and he pulls like another chest like below. It pulls up 230.
Just turn and look at Atsha. See if he nods his head.
You just see him in a stare down at him. Like complete stare down, like his face glowing straight at this drow.
I'm just gonna stand and fold my arms.
And then you see Atsha, without moving his head, wave his hands and whisper something. And the drow's like, wait. And you see Atsha just stop whispering something and moving his hand. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
all right, 250. And puts another chest on the table.
I'm just waiting for Atsha to agree to it.
And he kind of like nods. And he's like, I think you can do better than that. And he's like thinking about it. He's like,
I'm gonna, reach over and pick up the ball with the sister and just start tossing it from hand to hand. Like, what's at risk.
he kind of leans over to his guard. I mean, they're talking in what's up? I think Drow has its own language. It would be undercommon actually. Okay.
Yeah, which my character does not know.
So you hear them like back and forth talking.
Lean down and whisper to Atsha, I really hope this plan of yours is going to work. And that's in a really, really low whisper.
And you notice that the Drow comes back. He's like, all right. I'll throw in my other sister. You see at this point, Atsha kind of just leans back. Or no, doesn't lean back. He's sort of leaning back. So he's leaning forward. And like puts his arm on the desk. Says, like putting bobbing his head back and forth, still looking at him. It's like, deal. Puts out his hand.
And just set the orb back on the table.
And Atsha puts it back in the bag and puts it in his cloak. And so the I said 250, right? Yeah, 250,000 gold. He's in multiple chests and they're stacked on him. Atsha's guards put the smaller chests kind of like on leather holder straps underneath their cloak, and then they're holding the giant chest. They lock it and everything, chain it up. And you notice that they kind of like enchant a little bit in it.
Yeah.
And Atsha's like, you better promise me your sister. Your other sister. Or I'll be back. And then passes over the orb and just sets it in front of him. And the drow just leads back, holding the orb. Atsha gets up. The doors open behind you guys, and he walks out.
Follow him right out.
He just walks silent for at least a couple feet.
Yeah,
And-
walk till we get LA, and then I'm gonna like, whew. That was a little more than I expected.
Business, sir, business. And he kind of like he switches. He's like it's a switch that turns to him, and he's like all happy now, and he's like,
Next time, warn a bird when you're gonna do something like that.
"Hey, you said you wanted to go."
I said I was willing to follow you and help, but dang.
Well, I just got keys to a castle, so I'm okay.
Wait, don't women lead in Drow society?
In a way, she's a princess.
Oh, jeez. Whatever, your deal. I want a cut of that gold, by the way.
Okay, when we get outside, we'll cut off the gold.
That was a little more than what I was expecting. Besides, you made a profit.
We did make a profit, and in reality, he can't use the orb without the other.
Wow. Well, I think we should probably get back to the others before he starts overthinking his purchase.
He's gonna have to need 4 more of those orbs to actually do something decent.
What exactly was that orb?
He's like very hesitant. He's like,
I just come on, dude. I just helped.
let's just say if you put 5 orbs together, the 5 different orbs together, you bring back Tiamat.
What? Bring back who now?
Tiamat.
Tiamat?
Tiamat.
Yeah, let's make sure he doesn't get that last one.
He doesn't know what to do with them. It's fine. He probably just wants to put it in some fancy room to show off.
Still, I'd rather he only had 4 out of 5, just in case. I mean, he doesn't need to know that he needs 5.
I don't think he knows. He probably thinks he just needs the 1. He probably doesn't even know there's 5. And he just continues walking, and the guards are following him to the chest. And he goes back through like a portal and goes to the ground floor, and says, "Oh, did you need anything else before we leave?"
Not here, I don't.
Okay. So you guys are the ground floor, so we're gonna go back to Marco.
I'm headed for 4-5.
4 or 5. All right. So you're going to blacksmith area.
Yep.
So you go to you find the portal that takes you to floor 5 on that. You were on floor 6. No, you were on floor 3. Whatever floor you were.
I was on 6.
Yeah, 6. So you're basically taking portal going down,
Yep.
up a level actually, because so you go in. You see there are tons of places. You see weapons. You see different colored weapons, all different oars hanging in rope from a ceiling.
I'm gonna head for the first large weapon shop.
Okay. And it's just like a normal blacksmith. It's actually a dwarf just hammering away at a anvil.
So I'll approach the counter and I'll speak in Dwarvish with him. Hey there, you got some free time for negotiation?
Sure is. And he kind of like drops his hammer on the anvil and stops what he's doing and wipes off his hands and comes over to the counter.
I'm gonna set a pair of great axes and a javelin on the counter.
He kind of like picks the great axe up. Like, orc quality, normal. Quickly does a spell real quick. Not enchanted. All right. Picks up the next one. Does the same exact thing. Like orcish. Puts off to the side, and then he said, "Oh, how many javelins did you have?"
Well, 2 javelins, 2 great axes.
Okay, so he picks up both javelins. Just looks at the tip. It's like, just normal. All right. How much you looking to get for him?
It is orcish. I'm not too concerned about the getting top dollar for anything like this. I tell you what, if you treat me fairly, I'll be honest with you. I'm not much of a weapon connoisseur. Um, kind of a offer are you thinking?
Yeah, orcish quality. It's just normal metal. I'm thinking 18 gold.
Yeah, I'll work with that. That definitely works for me.
All right. He passes 18 gold, and then he passes like 3 silver off the side. It's like, And then he takes the weapons and he breaks the javelins off the wood and takes just the head and throws it into the forge, and then throws both the axes, whatever wood is on there, he takes off and throws it into the forge too.
So, can you hook me up with someone who forges iron cookware?
Iron cookware. All right. There's a cooker. Well, what's his name? It's whatever his name is. He's a couple stalls down.
All right, I appreciate that. And I'm gonna turn and head that way.
He kind of like nods and he picks up his work again. Just hear the hammering again. So you walk down and you pass a few stalls. People are like kind of standing around the stalls, and you find another one. Like, there's only a few people that kind of like perusing in the back of what he has, and it's a uh, it's a Triton creature with like sort of like aqua-ish scaly skin. But you notice that he's standing in a his feet are in water.
Okay. So, you did say Triton, right?
Yeah.
So in Aquan, I'll walk up and just kind of wave one hand. Hello there.
Hello. And he's like kind of like surprised that someone is awkward down here.
I hear you're the guy to talk to about cookware.
Yes.
Uh,
And then you notice that he kind of like points above him, and you see he focuses in cookware. Like there's big pots, small pots, pans, some kitchen utensils, some knives, just for all cooking.
okay. 2 requests. One might be a little bit more odd than the other. The first one is I need a fairly heavy duty iron frying pan.
All right.
And then the second one is I need about about a set of 10 of some thin skewers with a hook or a hoop on the end.
Okay. Kind of like grabs like a pen. He's like writing all this down. And you said you wanted 10 of those?
Yep.
All right.
That should be it for my order.
Oh, okay. That's it. That's easy. He kind of he's like, what kind of ore do you want?
For the are you talking for the pan or the skewers?
Either.
Mm,
Well, you said an iron pan, actually.
yeah, an iron pan, preferably one that's been coated and seasoned with oil so it doesn't rust.
All right, coated pan. That's iron. Again, skewers. What kind of ore do you want for that?
Something heat resistant so they don't bend if they get a little warm.
All right, we're looking for tempered iron is not bad. Tempered iron. Okay. All right. All right, and he kind of like he pulls up a crate out off the side. Like he gets out of his bucket, and walking around, and he grabs a crate and kind of like rummages through it. And in his hand, he's like grabbing like, and you see it's just a bunch of skewers, but they're different, slightly different colors. And he grabs 10 of these tempered iron skewers, with like a dark color than regular iron. And he's like, all right, these, and he throws the ones that he doesn't want back in the bin, pushes the crate with his foot off to the side, and he says, you want a iron pan with a coat. And he kind of looks above them, and you can see like they're all hooked up above. And he's like, and kind of like pushes them aside. He's like, and he kind of can't see it. So he goes over to this rope, and he just pulls the rope, and you just see this entire like shelving system drop, and just like rows and rows of pans and utensils and stuff like that. It's like, all right, here we go. And he kind of passes this to you, and he's like, is this good enough?
Yep. Looks good to me.
And it's like he pulls the thing back up and says, all right, pan, that's simple iron pan, it's coated. We'll go with 10 gold pieces for that.
All right, sounds good to me.
And the skewers, they're tempered iron, so they're a little more expensive. Not too much material. So we'll go with 4 gold.
All right, 14 gold in all.
14
sounds good to
gold.
me.
All right. And he kind of like hands you the skewers. Kind of like puts a little like string. Like I guess you asked for a loop on the end.
The actual skewer itself is sharp on one end, and on the other end, it kind of makes a hook.
Yeah. So at the hook end, he puts ties them with a string, and then in the center he ties them with another string, and then puts a giant cork at the end where it's pointy.
All right.
And he just like passes them to you. Says, here you go.
All right. Here's your money, and I'll set it on the bench and put everything in my bags.
Kind of waves and says thank you, and kind of goes back. He goes back into the buckets and starts hammering away.
Now I'll start making my way back to the cart.
Okay, so you're gonna go back up. So you go back onto the elevator. So you go back to the ground floor, and you're waiting in line to get back onto the elevator. While you were down there, make a perception check for me.
Oh, no. 22.
You notice there is a familiar bird and a glowing creature that you know. That is
In
also
front of me
them.
or behind me?
In front of you. A couple people ahead.
I'll pick up a rock and chuck it at the back of his head lightly, not like super hard.
Okay. Are you doing it to the glowing
Eureka.
bird? Okay,
Eureka.
Okay. Do
Tell
a.
me, I hear the whistle of this little rock whizzing towards me.
Let's see if it hits you first.
Might not even get close.
Yeah, but I'm standing in line. If you miss me, you're gonna hit somebody else.
Fair.
Let's choose still in like an unarmed attack here.
You're saying use the hit from an unarmed attack?
Yeah, just do like this d20 and. 11. All right.
You missed me.
It just whizzes past him, and you're like,
Now, who did he hit?
"Oh, that's a good question."
Shut up.
Wow. Okay, he hit one of the guards. Of
I'm just gonna
Atcha's,
keep my head down.
and like one of the guards just looks over, and you see the people in front of you, because there are a couple of people ahead of you. People in front of you look slightly terrified.
Keeping in mind, this was a very small pebble. It was not like a giant, like hand-sized rock.
Yeah, but you can still feel it.
So are they gonna approach me or wait till I get up there as the line moves?
So the line keeps moving, and Atsha and Yuri get on the platform, and then people in front of you, and then you are actually allowed to be on this platform also. So there's enough room.
They didn't stop me.
No.
All right, I'm just gonna keep my head down and.
I take it I noticed the giant turtle stepping onto the platform with it.
And you notice that like when he steps to the platform like slightly shakes a little bit because of his weight, and with all the other people in this.
Like, Shellhead, come on, you're gonna make this thing fall down the hole.
That wasn't like a stealth check or anything for the turtle to try to hide from the guard.
Well, he's in front of.
Well, I think the
12
stealth
guys.
check got negated when the whole crowd kind of gave away.
Also, I rolled a 4 and a 5 on those guys.
Oh, for their perception.
check. Yeah, for his perception check. And I was like, yeah, you just definitely hide on that one.
Thank God.
Do you see why Gustav stayed at the cart?
So you guys are taking the elevator up together. You notice that the elevator goes up a lot slower than going down.
Look, we're going so slow because of your Shelly butt.
What's your point?
You need to lose some weight.
Why would I do that? I'm a turtle. I ain't got wings. I don't need to lose weight.
So did you have fun?
Yep.
So did we. We had a lot of fun.
I spent a lot of money too. I think I went through about 40 gold today between provisions and new supplies.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to have to worry about that quite so much.
So you guys finally reach the top. It like reaches the dark part, and Atsha just glows with his bodyguards there, still glowing too. And you just go up the stair, and then you finally reach the top, and you see like sunlight, and they kind of wave you off where the exit section is for the platform, and you exit out from this building.
All right.
And Atsha just kind of walks towards the carts with his bodyguards.
Which I'm going to stay with because he hasn't paid me yet.
So they go to the cart. Atsha tells in a language you guys both don't know. It's Ignan. tells him to put the chest into his house cart, and the two guards also like empty out the chest they were carrying underneath, and puts it in the cart also. And then, how much are you paying attention, Drew? To Atsha?
Oh, I'm still keeping an eye on him. He's supposed to pay me.
Okay, so you're probably watching him inside his cart.
Yes.
Okay, so he takes out the chest that he had underneath his cloak that he took, and he puts it on like a table inside, and he opens it and starts counting, into a bag, and he does this for a while.
Okay.
Are you trying to keep up with how much he's counting?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep count of the coins.
Okay, do a perception for me to see how.
I'm just gonna keep moving on to our cart.
Okay.
Oh, I ain't counting diddly squat. I am not counting a darn thing.
Oh, after the first 5, you're just like,
I'm just
what?
mesmerized by the shiny coins going in
Yeah.
his bag.
Like it's between the box that he poured, and he's just like pulling them off the counter into a bag. And so he counts it real quick, and then it takes him maybe 10 minutes to count this, and he pulls the string on the bag, and then walks out and closes the door behind him. And notice that the 2 guards that are normally next to him stand by the cart. They don't follow him, and he walks towards you, and he says, "Here's payment for helping me out."
All right. After being mesmerized by shiny in the bag, I'm just gonna gladly take the bag.
And he kind of just lets it go, and he's like, "All right, well, when you say hi to Skitter for me, let me know." Oh, you guys need the location for him.
Yeah, that would definitely help.
Yeah, that's an important thing, right? So we're at Blackpool now. You want to go slightly south into the forest from where we are. And you want to go southeast. At like a 45-degree angle. This house is... You'll find a dirt road back there, and just follow it to his house. And he kind of just points in the direction, holds out his hand. He's like, "You want to go that way?" And he's holding a compass in one hand and just pointing his hand.
Okay. Can I take a quick look at his compass while he's holding it out and check the bearing on it?
Yeah, so it's basically a southeast, almost 45-degree angle from where you guys are technically. So
Okay.
You're going slightly back.
And you say there's a path there that'll lead right to his house?
Yeah, you have to go into the forest on that angle, and you will eventually reach dirt road.
Okay.
Follow that dirt road, and it'll lead you straight to Skitter's house.
Left or right on the dirt road?
No, you just keep going straight. Dirt road is...
Okay, so we'll run straight into the dirt road?
Yeah, but just go in the same direction of you're going, and just if dirt road follows that direction, go that way.
Okay. And that'll lead to his house?
House, base, whatever you want to call it.
Hut, hovel.
It's such a small place, I don't even call it a town. It's not even a hamlet. Reminds me of one of those hags in a forest. Anyway, I will leave you to where you are now, and are you guys up for any hiring in the future?
Depends on the work, honest.
Well, I guess you guys are mercenaries, so mercenary work.
Also depends on the pay.
Well,
You know,
you've seen how much I get paid, so
we will definitely keep you in mind, my friend. We will definitely keep you in mind.
he kind of like puts out his hand to shake your hand.
Shake hands with him.
Okay. He walks over to the rest to you guys' cart, and he's
As they're walking up, Gustav has been talking with the pseudo dragon this whole time. And his walk up and says, and that is how Turtle and Druid gets us thrown into jail for a night. Oh my god, it was hilarious.
God telling your pseudo dragon stories.
Yeah. How long were they gone?
They were gone for a couple hours.
Yeah, so the whole time, just sitting there talking with the pseudo dragon. Getting familiar with it.
So he kind of like he's like, well, farewell, friends. I hope you have a great journey. And tell Skitter I said hi for me.
Will do.
I miss that guy. I should visit him one day.
Safe travels, my friend.
And he kind of like goes around and like shakes all your hands.
Safe travels, friend. Safe travel.
But what time is it?
So you spent almost a whole day traveling again, and then they spent a couple hours underneath. So it's almost dawn.
Oh hell.
You guys like spent all night talking.
Yep. Well.
I mean, we got some good directions. We know where to go to get to Skitter now. I got some directions.
Yep. So I think that's a good spot to end. 'Cause I do
Yeah.
know Christian needs, not Christian, CJ needs.
CJ, yeah.
Yep. It's always me.
It's all good, man.
I love Blackpool because I'm like, this is the best market ever.
Plus, I gotta get you to tell me what exactly is in the purse, because you know darn well as soon as he walks up, off, I'm opening that purse and looking in it.
Do you want to know what it is now?
Hmm.
Do you want to know what's in it now?
I guess it can wait till next Saturday.
All right. Well, remind me about that.
Tell us all. Come on, it's on streams.
Oh, you have time?
Well, how long is it gonna
Well, it's
take?
one quick question.
Yeah.
That's a quick
Yeah.
question.
And what's in the purse? How
A
much
quick
did I get?
question. A
It's fif-
quick question.
1,500 gold.
Holy Christ!
That's one heavy pouch.
It's a heavy bag.
I'm still unencumbered. I'm okay. You see him. Okay, so you see Eric, pull the strings on the pouch, look in, and then quickly draw the strings and look up with wide eyes, like as wide as his eyes will open. And he's just like hugging the pouch to his chest.
And that's how it's gonna end.
And that's how it's going to end, yeah. That's a good spot. Ooh.
It was
Do
a.
you fave?
It
Yeah.
was. It
Do
was. Sorry, go ahead.
and then go ahead.
I was just gonna say it was a shopping session today.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting everyone to be like half people staying at the cart. I was like, oh, this will be a fun session.
We thought it was quick stop.
Yeah.
I honestly thought.
I mean, we haven't left yet, so they could still decide to go shopping.
I honestly thought Galen was going to drop off all the things that he took with him.
I already did that.
All of it? All the paintings?
Not
and
all
everything?
of it. I'm holding on to some.
Oh, okay. I thought he was gonna offload like all of it and be like, "Can I sell it?"
I did that last time, and I made bank. I bought a pseudo dragon.
It was very.
And I'm traveling
pick-
light, so I
I,
have
pick- I picked up a lot of important stuff. It should be interesting.
as long as I have a pouch of arrows, I'm set. So, and I think
So,
I've got tons.
I'm curious if Fenlon has noticed, or not Fenlon, but CJ, if
Mhm.
you've noticed what I've started collecting supplies for.
I haven't picked up on it. No.
Well, I picked up potatoes and I picked up cooking oil and a frying pan.
Latkes?
Do you remember much
Oh.
earlier? I think it was like like session 1 when we were in the tavern.
And I asked for poutine.
Marco noticed.
Nice. I totally forgot about me asking for that at the tavern in the first
Man,
session.
I didn't.
Vincent did that in CCRP too. Potato sticks with hamburger, whatever.
Food is his thing, so he definitely noticed.
Yeah. So yeah, poutine is French fries with gravy and cheese curds smothered all over it.
I don't
Oh,
know about
I
the
did-
cheese curds, but I've had French fries with gravy on them, but I don't know about the cheese curds.
I got 1 of 3 ingredients so far.
I mean, I like cottage cheese and all, but
He's collecting the Triforce.
The cheese curds is more like a mozzarella cheese on it. A lot of times
okay,
cheaper
so it's a
place
dry
has-
cheese curd.
Yeah, because a lot of times you get basically just hunks of mozzarella cheese put on it. But
And I have a very special plan for those skewers.
Oh boy.
And it's not for meat.
Dang it. We're talking about food and stuff, and now I want chili cheese fries.
well, Christian, if you ever get the chance to try a poutine, you should.
Oh, that's really good.
I didn't have poutine until I was in high school because my parents would always tell me, "Oh, that's heart attack waiting to happen." And
Keep in
then
mind, I live in the part of America that is like about as far away from Canada as you can get.
I had it down in Alabama. It's a pretty common bar food.
Yeah, there's no bars around here.
well, if you ever travel closer to Canada or into Canada, you can ask for a poutine. Of course, Quebec makes it the best, but it's pretty much widespread across Canada now.
Darkwing ate enough beans. He got in trouble for poutine.
Oh dear.
Anyways, I better call it a night, guys. But
Alright,
good night.
it was great. Thanks.
Close
We'll
fun.
talk to you later.
Later. Have a good night, man.
Catch you later.
All right, thanks for all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the D&D session. It was a shopping session, but I know my viewers account has gone down from what it was earlier in the night. But thanks for those who stuck through it and watched the whole thing, and to those who came and watched parts of it. Anyways, have a good night, and I'll see you next time.